Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor and I'm checking my volumes. This part of the show sponsored by Mr. B, who hates it when I check my volumes. He happens to work at Link2, and if you didn't get a bite at the Cerebras AI Apple yesterday, I just checked. They've still got some Cerebras private equity on the Link2 platform, so go check that out. Then I saw this. Brad Combs had interviewed.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had interviewed Andy Sheckman of Miles Franklin, who is one of my sponsors, code DAI Gold. And this Andy Sheckman announced that he is creating a partnership with Jason Cousins, who's the CEO of GILT, who's also one of my sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely. It's weird how the universe works. I've struck a deal with GILT to represent their fine platform and to be on their advisory board. They're great people with a great product. I went to London and had some really fantastic meetings with Jason and Andrew. Jason is the owner and CEO of GILT, and Andrew is his right-hand man, and really became very fond of them first and foremost, because to me integrity is everything, and it exudes from them. But by the same token, their platform is absolutely first class, and I look at it as a very symbiotic relationship. But it's interesting how the world works, because I noticed that Jason and I are on the same panel. Now that is independent of one another, and when I noticed that, I said, it's just the heavens talking to me, saying I made the right decision. Look, the bottom line is simply this. I've been approached by others in the space. Hands down, the GILT platform is... Look, I was able to download the app at lunch with them and in 5 minutes make my first purchase that is literally tied to a MasterCard, which I've received already. Here it is right here. My gold GILT MasterCard, and which is really cool. I mean, it's something that I never really understood just how neat it would be to be able to have that liquidity to buy, to sell, and to actually transact immediately if I want, using the gold held for me in a secure vault in Switzerland with Brink. So anyways, there'll be more and more to talk about it, but I just thought it was neat to mention it, being that Jason and I are on the same panel at your show coming up here in a few weeks in Vegas, and I figured it would be a good time to announce it to the public.
There you go. They're going to be on stage, Jason Cousins and Andy Sheckman, as well as Lynette Zhang. I think they're all three going to be the gold people on the stage out there. Check this out. I decided to do a little digging, or not a little. I went to Grok, which is X's AI, and I asked, I asked the question, how has XRP performed historically after each Bitcoin halving? Show the return after 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 1 year. So 2012, XRP was not was not being measured yet. 2016. Now I'm not going to go through all the numbers, but what I'll tell you is in both halvings, 2016 and 20, what's interesting is after 120 days in 2020, XRP was up 21%, and then in 2016 it was up 21% as well. Interestingly, after a year, it was down 50% in 2016, but up 521% in 2020. So it looks like the 120 days is the sweet spot after the halving. But this time, folks, all bets are off, because this time you're going to have the end of an SEC lawsuit. You're going to have stablecoin release. You're going to have stablecoin legislation. And all of a sudden, it looks like XRP is going to be sitting there as the only digital asset with legal regulatory clarity, while all others are potential lawsuits. So I think we're in a good spot. I agree with Ito Farina here. XRP under 384 is nothing but accumulation phase, and that is what I've been doing. And I'm positioning myself. I'm trying to make a decent sized buy before this downturn turns around. I'm hoping I don't miss it. I'm trying to make sure that I pay bills and whatnot and then do that. Now, this is an interesting little clip about the coming halving.
I were to explain the Bitcoin halving to my grandparents, I'd just walk them through a hypothetical scenario. I'd say, Grandma and Grandpa, imagine this. Tomorrow you read a headline that says 50% of the world's oil supply evaporates overnight. What do you think that would do to the price of oil? Naturally, it would spike. It would go through the roof. People would realize, oh my gosh, that's a crazy oil shock. We better buy oil. And so that's effectively what happens with Bitcoin every 4 years. It's the magic of the Bitcoin code. Every 4 years, you have this massive supply shock where 50% of the Bitcoin that's available to mine just decreases. It's just gone, just like that. And so every 4 years, you have this number go up technology that's embedded in the code that really historically has sparked all of the Bitcoin bull cycles. And what's most interesting about the current cycle is that we've actually reached a new all-time high before the Bitcoin halving.
Okay, so there's that. Then this is an interesting tweet too. Bitcoin halving price history, 2012, $12 at halving, $964 a year later. 2016, $6 and $663 at halving, $2,550 1 year later. 2020, $8,740 at halving, $55,801 1 year later. 2024, $63,300 at halving. This is the most bullish event. Don't be shaken out by whales pushing price down to get better entry. 1 year from now, you're going to be thankful you bought. I tend to agree. Now, Paul Barron here is talking about Gary Gensler and his manipulative tweet where he's teasing that he is retiring. I don't think this is Gary being a troll. I think it just illustrates how evil Gary is. I mean, here's a guy whose number one job is to protect investors, and he's literally making fun of those same Not only is he doing everything he can to hurt them, but he's making fun of, he's laughing at them at the same time. This is how bad and evil our government has gotten now.
Gary Gensler put out a post, and I think Crypto Twitter pretty much lost it in this one tweet, which is not exactly what you might think it might be. But it's been an honor to serve as the SEC Gov Chair. Over the past 3 years, I've seen firsthand how the incredible staff at the SEC serve investors and issuers alike. You know, I look at it when I heard this news, I'm like, he's the ultimate troll, and he's very manipulative in how he goes about his business, especially on Twitter.
Look, Gary pads everything with all his BS niceties, but this guy's pure evil. I mean, look, you can look at just about every aspect of his career, and he's an arrogant SOB. All he cares about is himself and progressing his career. He doesn't give a crap about investors or any of these people he's supposedly supposed to be working in the interest of. And this chick's no better. She's been nothing but a Gary shill and voted down the line with him every chance she got. Eleanor Terrett says, I got lots of messages about the resignation rumor. Firstly, it's an election year, and there's a high possibility these could be his final few months as chairman, a position he likes, so it's unlikely he would throw in the towel early. Also, the likelihood of the White House letting him resign are slim because getting a nomination through to replace him right now would be virtually impossible. But another member of the SEC Commission may be out soon. Democrat Commissioner Caroline Crenshaw. She has been part of the problem for all these years, folks. Her term is up on June 5th. Good riddance, Caroline Crenshaw. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. And then our old buddy Jim Kramer, who, if he says it, you can pretty much go opposite.
Last month, I took a position to hop on the energy trade in ExxonMobil. It shot up like a SpaceX rocket in the last couple of months.
Parabolic move, my friend. We don't like parabolic moves. That's a very good example. So it goes to 123. It's only 118. I don't think that parabolic move ends until at least it gets to 110. Let's go to Devin in Florida. Devin.
Booyah, Jimmy Choo. It's Devin from Florida. I love the show, by the way. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you.
I wanted to know your outlook on Marathon Digital and its relation.
Okay, if you want to own Marathon Digital, just go buy either Ethereum or buy Bitcoin. Okay, let's not fool around. That's what you do.
All right. So Bitcoin and Ethereum is the equivalent of Marathon Digital. I don't think. Well, I'll play a little bit of this. This is Senator Lumis talking about her stablecoin legislation.
When it comes to runs on stablecoins, akin to the one we saw when Circle, the largest U.S. stablecoin issuer, ended up breaking the buck when we learned that billions of its reserves were tied up in the failure of Silicon Valley Bank.
Well, our bill requires 100% hard currency backed stablecoins. We don't allow algorithmic stablecoins, and we require that stablecoins in the United States, pursuant to our bill, be 100% asset backed. Now, that could be hard currency like US dollars. It could also be US treasuries or other assets that are commonly recognized in the fiat world and very much pegged to the US dollar.
What happens, Senator, if a stablecoin issuer fails? Will holders of that stablecoin be made whole, just like depositors in a bank when a bank fails?
Well, the short answer is yes, and the way that the legislation tries to provide for that is multiple. One is if the issuer is a bank, again, they have to be 100% hard asset backed. It's not like a fractional reserve like normal banking assets. Then if it's issued by a non-bank, a trust company, the trust company would have to have a separate custodian to make sure that the stablecoin backing is not on the balance sheet of other for use for other purposes. So it's definitely sequestered in a way that would protect the users. And then in the event of a failure of a company, we are incorporating the FDIC receivership and conservatorship language and incorporating it into the stablecoin world. So if there's an insolvency, there's a process to protect the holders of the assets.
There you go. Now we're going to go in DAIXRP.com and I'm going to talk about some behind the scenes of XRP Las Vegas and what I'll be doing and different things. But before I go in there, I want to remind you it's 13 days. I just talked to Brad Combs. The ticket sales, this is what happened last year too. The ticket sales have officially begun to accelerate into the final days. Today's April 19th. He's going to increase the ticket prices on the 25th. So the VIP is sold out. The general admission has some left. It's going to sell out too. So you jump on it quickly if you were going to buy your tickets at the last minute. I know how most people are last minute. All that's in the description in the group. I've got 2 discounts, one for your general admission ticket, and one is a big discount for something else, and you just have to be in the group to know. That's DAIXRP.com. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that here we go. Behind the scenes, XRP Las Vegas. I am getting my calendar out so I can talk about some things.